who joins us this week. Hey, Sam.
Hey, good morning, guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there. And we were earlier during They Said It, we talked a little bit about Garrett Crochet, who was very kind and generous toward front office and Alex Cora when it came to being yanked last night. I wanted to ask you about that balance because you got a guy who is, as Wiggy said earlier, dealing and has been dealing and wants to stay in there. How do you guys balance that with the fact that it is a long season and you need him hopefully well into the fall?
Yeah, it's really hard because you just said it. He's dealing and in the moment. You know, he's looking the way he looks, and then you make a decision that is really rooted in sort of the overall best health of the team. But those are the hard decisions that our guys have to make night in and night out. We're preparing for 162, but you know, in the moment, you know, you certainly don't want to see a guy like that come out of the game when he's doing what he's doing. But obviously, everybody knows he has not pitched a full slate of games over 162, and you know, he's so strong and young and building up. We just got to make sure everybody stays healthy. But it's hard. Baseball in the moment is really hard, but you got to think about the next several weeks as well. It's a difficult balance.
Sam, I think a lot of media and fans tried to paint a picture that Crochet was upset with what happened last night. Obviously, we heard from him. He didn't seem upset, but there's a bigger narrative around this Red Sox team right now that there might be a communication issue, whether it was with Raffy Devers and John Henry having to fly out to talk to him. What would you say to fans that think that right now where we stand?
Well, I actually think we have a lot of great, open, honest, candid conversations. I think the narrative is probably more accurate to say there's a lot of frustration right now. I don't think anybody, including our fan base, thinks this is a 500 team. It's not acceptable, not what we anticipated coming out of Fort Myers. Expectations internally, externally were a lot higher. So when that happens, when you fall short of expectations in the early going, I totally understand that you can point to different reasons. But the reality is we're just not getting it done yet. But we got a lot of confidence that this group is built to do a lot better than 500, and we got to get going. We got to start winning some series. That's the key thing, and start to push as we get into June.
And I know you're not Craig Breslow, you're not Alex Cora, but just from your perspective, what primarily what is driving that not being where you thought you might be at this point?
Well, we just haven't. We sort of feel like we haven't clicked quite yet, and we've shown signs of it. You know, we had that long Friday night game in Kansas City, and it was frustrating. And, you know, we had all those one-run losses to start the season. And it sort of felt like, all right, we're going to kick things into gear here. We win that series in Kansas City, and then all of a sudden we have that awful series in Detroit where we just got swept. It was tough. And then tough Brave series, come back. We win the series against the Mets that we're just coming off of, so that's a good sign. But it just doesn't feel like we're clicking on all cylinders. But I do believe this is a group that will start to click and we'll get going here. But there's been a lot. There's been times when the bullpen has looked absolutely elite. Time when we've struggled. Times we've struggled on the bases. Times we've taken that extra base and really put pressure on the defense with our speed and youth. So it's just been up and down. We just haven't found our groove yet, but hopefully we will. And no better time, as I said, when the calendar starts to turn to June.
Sam, did you guys underestimate the impact of Bregman coming in this offseason and being the third baseman as it relates to the chemistry in Rafael Devers?
Well, he's been outstanding. I mean, the play on the field obviously speaks for itself, but his leadership has been tremendous and just an incredible addition. So it's been just what the doctor ordered, and really really glad that we have Alex Bregman in our lineup.
But I was asking specifically about the reaction to his addition. Did you guys maybe expect a reaction that didn't come to fruition when it came to what it meant for Devers and his roster spot?
No, I think, look, when we have a job to do here, and that's do everything in our power to improve the team through player development, through trades, through signings, and that's exactly what we did. We went out and got a Gold Glover and a big bat, big right-handed bat, which is what we needed, and we're focused this off season on doing everything we could to improve the team, and we absolutely did that by adding Alex Bregman.
Sam, when did it change the mindset of like innings pitched that starting pitchers will go? Because is it an analytics thing, or is it something more of a training staff thing that these guys now, like a quality start is, like 4 or 5 innings where it used to be 7?
Yeah, it's a good question, Wiggy. I mean, each pitcher, it's pretty extraordinary, has a plan that goes back to the off season, late October, November, all the way through spring training, and then into the season. There's a whole workload that's mapped out, and the number one goal is to keep guys healthy. And we've seen just this explosion of injuries in baseball, and especially related to pitchers. We all know, guys learning that missing bats is valued in the big leagues, and going with max velocity, max spin rate, has created an environment where guys do get hurt. And so what we have to do is try to have guys miss bats, but also stay healthy and stay off of the IL. So it's been an industry problem, and we're all working to try and make sure that when you have a guy at the top of the rotation, you do everything you can to keep him healthy. So it's been going on the last several years, and something that everyone across baseball is tackling, and no one's found the golden ticket or solution to the issue, but the team that stays the healthiest usually is going to be there in the end.
As we sit here on May 22nd, do you guys have a firm final plan when it comes to first base?
No, I mean, right now you've seen guys like Abraham Toro and Nick Sogard and Romy stepping up, and guys are starting to work out there. There's been a lot of conversations internally, externally, just thinking about solutions, and those conversations continue. So no firm plan. Most importantly, we just got to try and run a group out there every night that's gonna win ball games.
Did you feel like we haven't had the chance to talk to you, Sam, since it happened? Did you feel like the trip to Kansas City with John Henry and yourself was productive? And what was your goal in your trip, and do you feel like it's been satisfied?
Yeah, I do, Chris. It was a really good trip. I mean, the purpose was to go out and make sure that we had a chance to visit with different members of the team and the staff, and just reinforce the expectations from the very, very top of the organization. It was John Henry's idea to go out there and have a few different conversations, which we'll keep internal, but it was a very clear, candid message about our expectations, about our commitment to winning, and it was a really good visit, and I'm glad that we did it. It was an important point in the season, albeit early. We have an extreme sense of urgency. We have over these last couple of decades around winning, and John just wanted to express that message to the players, and had several good conversations.
Is it safe to say, Sam, that Devers is going to stay at DH? It's not going to be a first base situation for him?
We'll continue to work through it, Courtney. No firm decisions are made. I think the most important thing is that he continues to do what he's doing in the middle of the lineup. And but look, everyone needs to do what's in the best interest of the team. And most importantly, that's getting the best out of everybody, including offensive production. Making a move from whether it's third base to first base or DH to first base, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but we're all pushing towards the same goal of getting everyone ready to be where they need to be to win games, and that's what we need to do. But Rafi's, the guy is World Series champion. He's been in that clubhouse longer than anybody. Part of the Red Sox family. We've known him since he was literally a teenage kid, and really, really support him. And also, it's good to have honest and direct conversations that just probably best to have face to face.
We are well aware that Wiggy is easy to buy off. It cost you a bag of merch at spring training a couple years ago. I have a coworker here who, quite frankly, I am tired of listening to whine on the radio.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Not you in this case, Curtis.
Okay.
With regard to the new City Connects, my guy Rich Keefe did not get one. Is it possible that we could shut him up by getting a jersey over here? The new City Connects.
We'll have to go back and scan the last 10 years of comments that Rich Keefe has made about the club, but assuming those all check out in the positive scale, then no problem.
Okay, and then I'm guessing probably, what is he, a large, and then he could just stop whining about it.
Yeah, other people have them at the radio station. I'm sure he'll just steal one if he doesn't get it. So.
Those are $225. The City Connect jerseys.
Yeah,
I was looking at one.
Well, Wiggy. I'm sure the feedback is huge on those, right, Sam?
Yeah, they've been really, really popular, and kudos to the team and our group internally for putting it all together. I met the people from Nike that did the design, and literally they've been working on them for 3 years. It's pretty extraordinary what goes into it. But yeah, they came out great, and frankly a lot less controversial than I always think there's going to be. I guess I'm a kind of old school, Red Sox home whites and road grays kind of person, and then you realize like these are not for not for those of us who've been around for a long time. It's about connecting Nike's new uniforms to the city and the ballpark, and they've been extremely popular, especially with young fans, and that's the goal. So I'm glad people like them, and you'll see this practice continue.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. We will talk to you again soon. And hopefully you are playing baseball in weather that is above 50 degrees or whatever it was yesterday.
Yeah. Welcome to Memorial Day weekend in New England, right? Unbelievable.
All right, Sam. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Sam Kennedy.